Hello and welcome to another episode on Global CEO Magazine TV, where we dig deep into different nuances in corporate leadership. So today joining with us for yet another interview is Mr. Kalinga De Silva, who is the Managing Director at Centrum Marine Consultancy. And welcome to the show, Mr. Kalinga.
Thank you, Oshada. Thank you for welcoming me to your show.
So first of all, tell us about yourself and what actually inspired you to start this operation, the Centrum Marine Consultancy, back in 2020.
So just to start off, so I went to school in Kurunagala to St. Anne's College, which was a Lasalian establishment. And since then, of course, I had this challenge where I didn't get selected to the Sri Lankan university system. So I had to get professionally educated. And for me to do that, I needed to come to Colombo. So that was a challenging time in my life because at the same time I have lost my dad as well. And as a result, I had this option of working just to meet my ends meet, to manage my lifestyle in Colombo. At the same time, focus on my professional education. So that gave me this nice opportunity to be professionally qualified at one point, but at the same time carry a certain amount of experience along with me, and I've been fortunate to get into some good corporations. I started in banking with Pan Asia, and then did a 6-year stint with MS Holdings, and then got into the maritime industry. But in hindsight, when I look at it, I kind of feel that the truest calling for me is from the maritime industry, because when I look back, I don't think I'd do anything else other than this. So I was selected to this German Sri Lankan establishment, which was in ship owning, ship management, and then also seafarer training, where I headed the business development function for about 10 years, where I got a lot of global exposure, which was unparalleled. I mean, I don't think any Sri Lankan employee would get that certain amount of global exposure in ship owning and management. That gave me the confidence to do something of my own in 2020. In that past 10 years gone by, I had seen what not to do. So with that mindset, I started Centrum Marine, which was a purpose-driven brand. There was a certain amount of social impact that I wanted to make around the brand, such as empowering Sri Lankan seafarers, and then also creating a globally recognized brand around Sri Lankan seafaring.
So the primary focus at Centrum Marine Consultancy is marine HR. So what sets you apart, and at the same time, how do you ensure that quality and compliance when it comes to managing these global placements?
Yeah. So like I said, I think it was a purpose-built brand, and there was a certain amount of transparency around the brand when I created it. And then the entire system was, like I said, we started in 2020. So this was the height of COVID. So the entire system was built around agility, being nimble-footed, but at the same time being proactive, because at that point we had to be ahead of all the curves that were, we were facing this, facing that, so many challenges. So we had to be able to read that. So I think from the get-go, our DNA was to be agile and then be transparent, at the same time be quality-focused, and then create a respect-centric environment for Sri Lankan seafarers, which is something that we've done really, really well, and that sets us apart from most of the other players. Then the way that we've grown in the past 5 years is a truest testament that we've done the business very different to others. And we've managed to be very authentic by playing the game very close to a ship management company, as opposed to being a simple crew supplier, even though we are a crew supplier. So I think that's what sets us apart. And then having a complete focus on compliance. We've got specialized people who are specializing in compliance, and that has helped us to be compliant with not just local regulations, but also international regulations.
Well, it's obvious then, when it comes to starting up something from scratch and at the height of the pandemic, I'm sure that you faced a lot of challenges, and this being a very niche market in Sri Lanka. So what sort of challenges did you face, and how did you overcome those challenges?
So initially, I think starting off, the challenges were mobility, because at that time country was closed or half closed most of the time, and seafarer movements were also limited. But I think the way Sri Lankan government also allowed the industry to flourish was commendable at that point. That helped, that sent a brilliant message out to the world that Sri Lanka is not only a place where ships can call freely, but also this is a place where you can pick top-notch seafarers for your fleet. So we were able to piggyback on that message, and we were able to deliver. And at that point, I remember even delivering vessels out of China, brand new vessels built for Indian companies. We were able to send Sri Lankan crew and bring those vessels to India. So I think again I go back to saying being nimble-footed, by being at the right place at the right time helped us a little bit.
Now, being in this industry for so long, I've heard that you've been, implementing some social initiatives as well. So, to tell you a bit about them, now, She Can Sail the Sea and Sea Care initiatives are the primary social initiatives that you have implemented here at Centrum Marine Consultancy. Now, tell us about these initiatives.
Yeah. So way back in 2023, we had this concept where we needed to bring female seafarers from Sri Lanka out to the world. There has been these ones and the twos, but then Sri Lankan female seafaring wasn't something that was very well known in the world. We had one successful case, and based on that success, we thought this is the time that we are going to go with a cohort of female seafarers. So at that point, I didn't just want it to be another placement. What I did was we brainstormed as an entire team, and we came out with a purpose-built initiative, purpose-built brand called She Can Sail the Seas, which was a movement to help Sri Lankan female seafarers to get into the profession. And taking a cohort of 15 was no easy task. We had to partner up with Sri Lanka's premier training institute, Cine Campus, and we did interviews together. So we place a lot of focus on trying to bring people from a service background. If their parents were from a service background and so on, we kind of latched on to that type of people, because we felt 100% success rate in this 15 would mean that we can easily go up to about 150 in no time. And we've shown the world that that is doable, and we have done it. We took about 7 deck cadets and 8 engine cadets in that batch by sponsoring them to the tune of $110,000. And in this endeavor, main ship owning partner Peter Dula Shifards helped us by helping us with the 50% of that tab. And then talking about sea care, I've always thought, like I said before, we always wanted to create a respect-centric environment for Sri Lankan seafarers. This is something that has been missing in Sri Lanka for a long time. And we've also realized that not just like any other human being, seafarers are also susceptible for mental illnesses. They are at sea for prolonged periods. They are in constrained environments. They are away from the family. Sometimes internet connectivity is not the greatest when you're at sea. So all these issues revolving around them, it's not an easy task for them to focus on the job, and the amount of stress and the strain on them is also immense. So we thought it will be vital for us to have a helpline in helping them to arrest some of these concerns that they have. So what we did was we reached out to Lanka Lifeline, and with the intention of helping them to focus more on seafarers as well, because their focus was mainly general public. But what we did was we actually set up training sessions. We helped them understand what is the life of a seafarer like, both while at sea, while you're ashore. And based on that, we launched Sea Care. So we were using the same platform that Lanka Lifeline used to have, 1375, and now that is being extended to seafarers under Sea Care initiative.
And finally, now looking ahead, what are your long-term plans with Centrum Marine Consultancy, and how do you envision its role in this market here in Sri Lanka and when it comes to the global context?
In the next 5 years, we are looking at slowly transforming into a ship management company with a regional focus. Then we also aspire to get into ship owning with about 3 vessels, ideally made for the coastal trade. Then apart from that, I think our main focus is still going to be putting a lot of effort on the Sri Lankan Seafaring brand to make it a globally recognized brand. Then finally, we want to take our She Can Sail the Seas initiative a notch higher. Right now, Centrum has about 27 females in our system. We want to make it 150 in the next 3 years, which will help us to send a very strong message to the world that Sri Lanka is not only ready with male seafarers but also with female seafarers, which is a massive trend in the world, and it's a wave as well, and we want to wave that and we want to ride that wave with a lot of confidence.
Right, so that concludes our conversation with Mr. Kalinga De Silva, who is the Managing Director at Centrum Marine Consultancy. Thank you, Mr. Kalinga, for joining with us, and thank you for committing your time and effort to be with us on Global CEO Magazine TV. So with the intention of seeing you once again with another corporate leader and to share his or her view on how this global corporate world is evolving, it's a goodbye from Global CEO Magazine TV.